The lights are off and away they go.
Extremely loose. He's managed to hold on and they get.
He missed the pit complete. That is crazy
As I
stuff.
said, Freitas is on the grass on the infield before. He slides through. He tags Richard Eckler.
They hail from around the globe, and though separated by oceans, they gather in the virtual world for reasons as varied as their locales. Whether it's a defending champion looking to retain his title, a new and eager hopeful striving for recognition, or a legend prepared to recapture past glory, in the end, the one goal they all share is to win. But when naming a victor, only one driver's name can be etched into the record books. You're watching the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour!
Last race at Brands Hatch, 3 times champion Jan Koemans outpaced his rival and Season 8 champion Evan Maillard to victory circle, breaking a 25-race winless streak. Today, the series returns to the U.S., where 2-time champion Richard Eckler will try to prevent the Speedmaster from making it 2 in a row. You're watching the Global Sim Racing Channel's Live As It Happens coverage of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour Paul Newman doubleheader from Lime Rock Park Raceway. Hello everyone, and welcome to another GSRC broadcast. I'm your host, Bill Soupzon. Helping me call the action is the best thing out of Australia since NXS, Richard Losper. Turning the knobs and pushing the sliders is the hardest working man in sim racing broadcasting, Joe Peak. Also joining us in the booth to cover some of the back markers today is Trevor Cameron. And the cameras have been provided, as always, by the Ansel Adams of iRacing, Dougie Beard. We talked about Koemans and Maillard and Eklund in the opening, so now let's quickly take a look at some of the other names that show up in the top 10 of the point standing. 3 races in, 3 different winners. That's it, 1, 2, 3 in the points. But 3 of the top 4 drivers, Frenchman Maillard, the Swede with speed, Marko Mogren, and the Serene Slovene, Juris Jelenko, are not racing today. Their absence is a chance for one half of the Aussie posse, Sonny Katchen, to move up in the standings. Thomas Zabo, Dexter Castro, Dries Nys, Deuce Allen are here and round out the top 9. A surprising no-show is Amjad Yaman, currently in 10th. In 5 seasons, Yaman has never finished outside the top 5 in points, but he is in jeopardy of that streak ending this season. But before we delve deeper into the personalities behind the wheels, let's turn the mic over to the MX-5 expert, Richard Losper, to talk a little bit about the track under the wheels. Richard, 2 sprint heats today. The second heat, the slapshot heat, is on the main course, but the first one, dubbed the Cool Hand Luke heat, in honor of Paul Newman, who raced here often, has the dreaded chicane. Tell us a little bit about that.
Joe, good evening to you, and good evening to the viewers. Good evening to you, Bill, as well. You are talking about this, you're calling this a track, Bill? This is a GOAT track, in my opinion. One of the worst tracks I have ever seen, although it is really fun to race on. Very narrow, all right-handers excepting for one turn. There's only about 7 turns on the race. There's an uphill, a downhill, and a big bend. I don't know why they call it a big bend. A really fun track, and of course, Bill, every iRacer, when they join the service, gets this track as one of the free, so-called free content when you first join. So everybody knows this track. Everybody races their first races on this track. They all hate it, but they all do it. And mind you, I have to say, there are some weirdos like Mr. Sonny Katchen, for instance, who absolutely love this track. And I gotta say, Sonny is gonna be pretty unbeatable on this track unless he gets involved in an accident early on.
Well, to get a better look at it, we're gonna have a video track guide of it. So let's roll that right now, Director.
All right, we've got Richard Losper behind the wheel of the GSRC MX-5, so let's do a lap around Lime Rock Park. Coming down to Big Bend, this is your best passing opportunity and the only big braking zone of the lap. There's 2 apexes to hit, but you'll treat it like one giant arc. Just be careful not to drift wide because the dirt will suck your car away from the pavement very quickly. Shortly after, you'll hit the only left-hand turn of the course, and your line here is going to be critical to a good lap time. You want to stay left on the exit to set up for 4 so that you can keep your foot down all the way through it. Then we'll weave the car along No Name Straight, and again, stay left as we approach the uphill. This is a deceptively fast corner because once you hit the rise in elevation, the fronts will grip. Then immediately as you come over the crest, you'll have to straighten the wheel because the car goes light. Now we're at West Bend. You'll play dare with the exit because there's absolutely no runoff and you've got to use every inch of curb for a good lap. Finally, there's diving turn. We'll have just a little lift, turn in, and just like the last one, get hard on the power and use every bit of track we can. Not carrying your speed out of this corner will make you vulnerable to passes. But that's a lap around Lime Rock Park.
And there you go. And if a driver can just do that, they should be able to turn a good lap time. And speaking of a good time, it's time for the segment called Mountaintop Cabin Rentals Keys to a Good Time. It's a chance for viewers to hear from drivers that don't typically get interviewed because they usually don't make the podium. Hopefully we can get Brad Wooden. Now, Wooden certainly doesn't fall into that category as he's often up front. But today he's starting in last place. And we're going to have a picture of Brad. You can see him right there in that car. Right now he's on the track. Brad, do you have a copy?
Yeah, mate, I've got you.
Okay, you're starting last. It's a doubleheader today, so if you can get to 10th place, they'll invert you to the pole. What do you think it's going to take for you to have a good time today?
Not crashing in the chicane. That'll be the best start, I suppose, to the day.
Yeah, we got to get 29 drivers through there. Richard, do you have a question for Brad?
Yes, certainly do. Brad, I'm looking at the times here. We're looking at a minute 0.5 is around about a good time. So obviously the weather is not that great here at the moment.
Nah, it's not too flash. I'm finding the front a bit understeery, so I got an optimal time around that, but yeah, it's a bit hard to get down to that with that chicane. A bit hit and miss.
All right. Well, Brad, yeah, look, have a good time today, and I'll talk to you later.
Hey,
That's
Brad,
good.
give us a little wiggle here after you come out of the chicane. Let us know that. Let's see you. There you go. I love the little wiggle.
Oh,
Hey,
that's
good luck
too
to you,
much.
Brad. Oh, that's. We'll get that one out of the way. That's like losing a game before you go into the playoffs. We'll get that loss out of the way. Brad Wooden starting 29th. Now he's fast. The reason he's starting in the back is he didn't post a qualifying time. And that is your Mountaintop Cabin Rentals there. Hopefully he can stay away from trouble. And if you want to get away from your troubles, why not go to Green Valley Lake, the best kept secret in the Southern California mountains, where the best place for lodging, of course, is Mountaintop Cabin Rentals. To get your keys to a good time, go to gvlcabinrentals.com. All right, we've got the business out of the way. Let's look at the grid right now. 29 drivers, Richard. We got to try to get through the field here. Now, sitting on the pole, remember, you can see they're colored in green. You see the number 6. That's the rookie from France, Julien Offray, highlighted in yellow with the little green 6. He's our 6th fastest qualifier, and our top 6 qualifiers are re-gridded in what we call the quick 6. So you're going to see Julien Offray on the pole. He's sitting in the pits right now. Now, outside of him on row 2 is John Deuce Allen. You see him right there in that kind of blue and black car on our screen there that the director has. Sitting in second place, this is his 21st start in the 9th position in the standings. Second row, Dexter Castro snuck into the quick 6 at the very end last night. 59 starts behind him, sitting 7th in the standings right now. On the outside of row 2 is the guy to keep an eye on, Richard Eklund, 2-time champion, sitting 19 in the points, but don't let that fool you. He's going to be fast today. Now, Sonny Ketchen from Australia, only 13 starts, but he's really a veteran in this car, sitting 5th in the points. And then on the outside of row 3, the Speedmaster, he's back trying to make it 2 in a row. Jan Koemans, 3-time champion and our fastest qualifier so far. Richard, let's take a look at positions 7 through 14.
Yes, indeedy. Now, in 7th place, we've got Driss Nice. In 8th place, Carlos Torres, who's back for a race again, and we haven't seen him for a little while, Carlos. In 9th place, Eric Garcia. 10th place, we have Patrick Fliss. In 11th place, William Billy Bob Wright. And then in 12th place, Brian Bennett, one of our rookies. And 13th place veteran Stefan Overgaard. And newcomer since last season in 14th place, Travis Schwenke.
It's funny as we go through, we're going to move to the next set of drivers there. As we go through those drivers, you can see how many of them are off track. I got a feeling this is going to, as we watch Travis Schwenke looping it right now. Oh my goodness, I think we're in for quite an adventure today. Looking at the 15th spot in row 8, it's Daniel Kemp making his 12th start, 22nd in the standing. The veteran making his 110th start today from Italy, Joseph Arrow, starting outside of row 8. In the inside of row 9, the Ironman, Benjamin Lanawood, in the Tidal Influence colored machine. They're our title sponsor. Benjamin Lanawood making his 77th start today. Outside of him is Benjamin Nelson. A pair of Benjamins make up the 9th row. Benjamin Nelson currently 24th in the standing, making his 24th start. Andre Hedgeheim from Norway. He's coming back after missing a couple seasons. Making his 12th start, sitting in the 19th position overall. Outside of him, Derek Holland starting in the 20th position, row 10. Then we go back to row 11. We get to a rookie, Peter Balesa, making only his 2nd start, 33rd in the standings, driving in that orange-colored machine right there. And then Al Heaton looking to do well in the Ironman Championship, making his 20th start with a qualifying speed, if I can see the speed, of about 86 miles an hour. Let's go ahead and look at 23rd position. Rich?
Yeah, and we've got a rookie, Tomas Torok, who I must admit I have not seen before. Let's hope he has a good race. Then an old friend of mine, Geordie Fike. He's in 24th position on the 12th row. That is followed by, in 25th position, Jeroen Ursem. 26th position, Tomas Zabo. Obviously did not put in a qualifying time. Trip Smith in 27th position. 28th position, Tomoki Kono. These are guys that are going to have to come all the way from the back, Bill. And in last position, as we already mentioned, our in-car reporter there, Brad Wooten.
And the drivers, big names in the back there, are Zabo from Hungary and Kono from Japan and Brad Wooden from Australia. Along with Ursum and Smith. None of those drivers did they have all week to qualify, and they weren't able to get the time in to qualify, but they're welcome to join in the back of the pack. So we're going to keep an eye. Wooden's done it before. Zabo's done it before back there, and also so has Kono from Japan. Just about ready to grid now. Richard, we didn't talk much about they'll have to battle the drivers, but they really need to worry about the chicane here. And man, if there's a harder corner in iRacing, I don't know what it is. You come over the uphill, you got to brake, the car gets real light, then you got to set up the chicane, and you got to fly your right tires over, then your left tires, you're bouncing all over the place. It's really something.
I was talking to some of the drivers in practice and racing for the regular series, and I gotta tell you, a lot of the drivers are scared of this chicane version of the track, and some of the drivers think that they're just going to treat it as a bit of fun. So it is certainly one of the hardest corners that I know of. It's a completely blind entry, and you've got to swing right and swing left very, very quickly. We have seen cars come through there with all 4 wheels off the ground as we see them getting ready to start gridding. In fact, they are starting to grid right now. So yeah, very, very tough. Brad Wooten starting from the rear. He's told me that for him, the whole series is just a bit of fun. He loves starting from the back just to see how far up he can get during the race. So back to you, Bill. We are starting to get ready for a start.
And we're looking here, we go through this. Now, keep an eye on Offray, is the French rookie. He's in the blue car. I haven't seen Deuce Allen grid yet. Now, Dexter Castro sits behind him in 3rd. And then Eklund looks like he has a clear field in front of him if I don't see Deuce Allen. Waiting for Deuce to take the spot. Deuce is he showing up on your screen, Director, or is Deuce not there? I don't see him.
Deuce Allen is not there yet.
There he is. He's coming in that lightning bolt. Okay, the lights are up. Deuce just got in there. Richard Eklund in that black car sitting in 4th position. had a clear look at the front. Now, Offray is the French driver who started on the front row at Brands Hatch and did not do very well, fell back quickly. They're going to green right now. Offray with a much better start than he had last race. Eklund going to tuck into second place. Back in behind, Allen is Allen's in second place now. Back in behind, it looks comfortable there. You can see Castro tucking into third. Eklund and who is in that orange car there? It's Kanchan going side by side as they go through this left-hander. They're going to file in. There we go. Looks like they're going to file in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yep, we have.
Koolmans is off in the first corner.
Yeah, I was about to talk about that. Let's go to Jan Koolmans and see what happened to Jan Koolmans. He's running again as they come through the chicane right now. First time through the chicane. Carlos Torres gets it wrong. Jan Koolmans manages to pass him. I'm on board with Jan Koolmans. He passes another car there, which is Eric Garcia. Koolmans on the move at the moment. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's in 7th place right now. And look for Koolmans to start catching up as he totally abuses the track limits. But that's all good. Up front here, we've got Julian Offray still leading this race. Julian is very fast. Then we've got John Deuce Allen in second place. John, I want to tell you, buddy, it's all okay from yesterday. Don't worry about it. It's all good. Dexter Castro in third place there. Followed by
rookie,
Eklund in fourth place.
Peter Basella is off. Peter Basella in 28th position got knocked off the track. He's back on. They went through the chicane single file, didn't they, Trevor? It looked pretty clean.
Yeah, definitely, and I'm actually watching Brad Wooden here, and he is picking up spots like mad back here. He was already up to 22nd position as they hit the start-finish line at the end of lap number 1.
Let's go back and look at the lead now, as it looks like Deuce Allen is really putting the pressure on our French rookie Julien Offray for the lead.
Hang on. Castro has just kind of gone slow. Looks like he's going to go into the pits. He has, something's happened to him. Now he's out there, but he's going very, very slowly. I'm not sure what happened there, Bill.
Yeah, nor do I. Dexter was so happy to have a good qualifying up front. Probably got in trouble in the chicane.
Might have been a slowdown. That's what it is. It takes you half the track length if you get a slowdown here. So let's go back to the front. Julien Offray still leading this race. John Allen in second place now. Richard Eklund has moved up to third place. Richard Eklund having a look on the inside there of John Allen. John Allen not having any of it. Now they've got to negotiate the chicane. Let's see what they do. Up go the wheels. Right, left, and they come through pretty clean there. John Allen hasn't had an opportunity to have a look at Julien Offray at this stage because Eklund has been harassing him. Sonny Kanchan in fourth place. Sonny is a veteran on this track. Sonny has won 300 races on this track easily. So look for him to feature towards the end of this race, Bill.
Eklund with a great run at the lead and has dipped to the inside. I'm sorry, it's John Allen. Allen in that blue lightning bolt car has dipped inside of Offray. Now here comes Eklund trying to peek in. Offray stuck on the outside. Eklund thinks better of it and backs out. Offray out into the grass. He gets a little loose. That's going to give Eklund a great entry into the corner, but he's on the outside. Offray's going to be able to hold the position. Your new leader, John Deuce Allen.
And look at Jan Koolmans coming up to 5th place. He's 7th place a couple of laps ago. Now up to 5th place. Poor old Julien Offray under attack by Richard Eklund. He goes through the chicane right now. Sonny Kanchan following him as well. Sonny Kanchan right up there with Richard Eklund. Offray doing a great job of actually staying in it there, Bill. He looked like he was severely under attack and looming behind Sonny Kanchan, Jan Koolmans. So that's your top 5 at the moment. These guys are racing hard. No quarter given, no quarter asked either.
Richard, keep an eye on front. Let's go back. Trevor, what are you looking at back in the pack? You got any good battles going on back there?
Well, not right now, but I've noticed that Brad Wooden has made his way up to position number 19, and we also had the car who was in 5th position went off in turn 1 the last lap. Dries Nys, I believe his name is, yes. And he has dropped way to the back of the pack.
You're looking right now at Wooden on screen, and there now we're looking at Nys, who has dropped back. Wooden had Travis Swenke ahead of him there. There's Thomas Szabo in that mix is also Szabo running in 24th position. The drivers want to keep an eye on in the back there, of course, are Szabo, Wooden, and also, who was out as in the back there? Szabo, Wooden, and there was another, Kono, the Japanese driver we want to keep an eye on as they make their way through the field. right now on board with Dries Nice. Richard, how's the lead holding up?
Well, at the moment, they are still in exactly the same positions they were, but I can tell you that Jan Koemans has moved right up onto the rear bumper of, he's going pretty wide there, but that is usual for Jan Koemans. Don't be surprised by that. There are no penalties for using all of the track here, if I'm not mistaken, Bill. Now, I wanted to say that Jan Koemans having a look at Sunny Canyon. Jan Koemans, we should say, Bill, loves this track as well. Very, very good there. He has a look on the inside as they go through the only left-hander on the course. Now back up through the no-name straight, as they call it. Sunny Canyon in trouble here. Jan Koemans looking at him and wanting to take that position, which is the 4th place. Meanwhile, just up ahead of them, John Allen leading now. There is Sunny Canyon right off the track during the course of the chicane. He will get a slowdown for that, and he will have to give up that position, Bill.
Yeah, the slowdowns are dreadly. Keep an eye on that. We're going to drop back to a nice battle for 8th, 9th, and 10th. It's Billy Bob Wright in a battle with rookie Brian Bennett, and right behind them is Dexter Castro, who started up front in row 2 and then fell way back. You see them running there right now on the screen. You're looking at Castro in that multicolored, put on your sunglasses to hurt your eye cars, running in 10th position. Now, right ahead of him is Brian Bennett, and then just leaving your screen right now is Billy Bob Wright in that blue and white X-Lax car. Those guys are running nice battle, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Maybe Director will go one more spot up to this battle for 6th position. It is a battle between Patrick Fliss and Carlos Torres. Torres back from the Colombian driver driving in that Cafe de Colombia car, the brown and beige colored car there, really putting the pressure on Patrick Fliss.
Yeah, Bill, I was going to say that these two drivers have kind of joined the battle here. They're not that far behind. In fact, that would be Sunny Canyon right now. Carlos Torres currently running in 7th position, and of course Patrick Fliss just in front of him. These guys are starting to make an impression on the leaders there, as we see Patrick Fliss immediately going defensive. No, he must have got to slow down because he's being overtaken now by Carlos Torres. So Carlos moving up into 6th position. Our leaders are still John Allen doing a great job there. John under attack now by Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund wants P1. Julian Alfrey has been shuffled back to 3rd place. Jan Koemans coming for Julian Alfrey. Look for him to make an attack in the not too distant future. Sunny Canyon with some damage on the rear end of his car in 5th position right now.
Keep in mind that Alfrey was your 6th fastest qualifier, and behind him was Koemans. Oh, our leader has cut the course. Here's a slowdown penalty. He'll probably have to take it around this corner. He's going to hold the inside, and that's what the chicane will do. It'll snatch the lead right out of you. Let's see, as he slows down, he lets Eklund by, and it looks like that's going to be the only spot he loses. And we have a spin in the back. Joseph Arrow has spun, and Travis Schwenke is also involved.
Trevor, what did you see about that? Anything?
Actually, I was watching Brad Wooden, who was actually putting a lot of pressure on Nelson until he managed to make Nelson make a mistake and go off track and actually got the position. It was actually quite the battle that he was putting the pressure on, so I actually missed the Schwenke incident.
No problem. All right, let's go back to the front here where I am firmly have my eyes and my cameras. At the moment, Richard Eklund has taken P1. John Allen is now sitting in 2nd place, having lost the position through a slowdown penalty. Julian Alfrey, I am extremely impressed with Julian's run here today, Bill. Staying up there with the leaders. He's got a love tap just there from, who was that, Jan Koemans. Jan Koemans wants that position, but Julian's having none of it. Jan gave him a little bit of a how do you do, and then had to drop back a little because of that. That's your top 4. Sunny Canyon hanging in there in 5th position. Now we are on lap 9, Bill. So I believe this is a 24-lap race. So we are about a third of the way through the race.
Right, and get in the mind of Koemans. He probably wasn't. Oh, Koemans is way wide.
Slowing.
Koemans misses it. He's going to give up the position to Canyon goes by as Koemans drops into 5th. I was just saying that Koemans could not afford to let Richard Eklund get away. Eklund got around Allen, and then Eklund had a clear track ahead of him. But we're going to wait to see, because things are going to change. They're going to see traffic here pretty darn soon. Hey, let's quickly go back and look at a couple guys that we haven't talked about yet. 10th place, rounding out Dexter Castro. I'm sorry, it's Eric Garcia in the Eagle's Nest Cavern car, running out 10th position. Drop back one more spot from him. Benjamin Lanawood in the Tidal Influence car, running in 11th. Nice run for these guys, not in a battle. Then, here's your Japanese driver. Tomoki Kono has made it all the way up to 12th position. Remember, Richard and Travis, if he can get to 10th spot when they re-grid for the second heat, he'll be on the pole.
And just having a look at Brad Wooten there. Brad Wooten is in 14th at the moment. Just in between himself and Tomoki Kono is in fact Brian Bennett. And so these two drivers are ones that we will be looking to try and get into the top 10. They've got plenty of laps left, lap 11. So they've got about 11 minutes to do it, Bill.
Travis, what do you see back in the back there? Anything you're looking at that's interesting?
Well, actually, if we go back to positions 23rd, 24th, and 25th with Travis Schwenke in the middle here, there is quite a battle between him and Stefan Overgaard, and Andre Hegman have been battling it nose to tail for the last few laps, trying to get by, and looks like Schwenke's getting really close, but just can't quite make the move.
Yeah, Hegren running in 23rd position. Actually, we have a four-car battle there. Schwenke in the mix, then Stefan Overgaard in the flying Smurf machine, that blue and white machine, and then Joseph Arrow recovering after his spin, running in 26th position. And here we're going to see here, and it looks like maybe is that taking a peek is Schwenke. Oh, Schwenke gets into Hedgeheim. Hedgeheim, he turns him, coming into the chicane. Overgaard has decided to miss the chicane. He's going to have a slowdown penalty. Schwenke is going to get that move into 21st position. I think Overgaard's going to have to slow down. Wise move by Overgaard. We're on a replay right now. Coming up, you see there Travis right behind him. Travis, as they come down. Now, this is the long no-name straight. It's going to happen right as they come around this. This is a hard corner. Very fast corner. Schwenke with the inside position. Hedgeheim tries to duck inside. Schwenke makes the corner, makes the chicane, and Overgaard says, I'm not going to make that chicane. I'll just take the slowdown penalty. And when it's all said and done, Overgaard's going to be in front of Arrow, and Schwenke's actually going to be in 25th position. They're still battling at it. Let's go back to the front, and they're still going at it. In fact, Arrow is off into the grass right now, and Arrow is into the wall in that battle. Oh, my goodness.
All right, let's go back here to the front where it seems they are just in one behind the other at the moment. Jan Koeman's got past Sonny Kanchan. When Sonny got a slowdown, the slowdowns are really hurting the drivers. You will notice that the positions are changing simply because of that. Very, very hard to overtake on this track, I should mention, folks. But these drivers, if anyone can do it, as we see a move going on, let me see, there's some traffic there going on. John Deuce Allen on Julian Affray, coming to the uphill, into the chicane they go. John following very, very close to Julian Affray. Now Julian gets away just a little bit after the chicane. Up ahead of them, quite a distance to Richard Eklund. So Richard really trying to get away from these guys and doing a good job of it. As they battle. Richard Eklund is see you later, guys.
Yeah, now I got good news for Richard Eklund. If he wins the heat, that's the good news. The bad news is he'll have to start 10th on the next heat. Remember, even if you win the heat, that doesn't mean you're the overall winner. The overall winner is the best score in both heats. So it's how well these guys do. I got to give a shout out. Let's look at Al Heaton, currently running in 27th position. He's doing a great job of letting these faster cars by. He's pulling over, actually was pulling off to the grass. Nice job. As a fellow back marker, Al, I got to give you a tip of the hat, buddy. Nice job.
Okay, let me go to Tomoki Kono. Tomoki has got into the top 10, so he is currently the one on the move. He's got in his sights there just in front of him Eric Garcia and Billy Bob right now. Tomoki should be good enough to catch up to these guys. Let's see what Tomoki can do. Meanwhile, Dexter Castro, let's get the camera on Dexter. He's moved up into 7th position. He was up higher. He got a slow down penalty. He settled down very, very well as he's got a slow car in front of him now, Al Heaton. But Dexter moving up quite nicely as well. And his next car to get on terms with, if he can, is Carlos Torres, who is in 6th position. So positions are not changed at all. Jan Koemans, we can tell you, has moved up into 3rd position. Julian Alfrey, I'm continuing to be impressed with his drive today, Bill. He is doing a fantastic job. Good on you, Julian.
Frey got to start on the front row at Brands Hatch and fell back immediately. Did not have a good race. Doing much better here today. Now Eklund Curry running first, Frey in second, and then he's got the three-time champion behind him. And Koemans, I think, is going to make a great exit. Koemans going to make short work, I think, over here of Frey as they come down this straight. Now they're going to have this right-hander coming up, and then this is where Koemans is going to make the move if he can. He's not very close. Maybe he wanted to leave a little bit of distance there to get a run, but nope, he's not going to be able to get it done this way as they cross here, and they're going to have 9 laps remaining after this. It doesn't look like Frey is the kind of driver that's going to go defensive, though, Richard. Looks like he's going to... look at Koemans' close during that swooping right-hander through 1 and 2.
Now, Julian Alfrey, the reason I am impressed is he has been under attack since lap 1 by these drivers that we are used to calling Richard Eklund, John Allen, Sonny Canton, etc. He has battled with all of them and he is still in second place, and that is the reason why I'm extremely impressed with this one. This is a tough track to keep some of these guys who are used to racing it and used to... There he goes now. He's under attack there by Jan Koemans. He has to give up the position. Did he get a slowdown? Not quite sure. He's not slowing down. I think that was just a genuine overtaking maneuver by Jan Koemans on Julian Alfrey. Now moves into second place, does Jan Koemans, just behind Richard Eklund. But Richard Eklund has shut the door. He is gone.
Looking now
let's go. Sorry, Bill. Let's go back to Tomoki Kono. Kono now got a driver in his sights. Who is that? Let me see. That's Billy Bob Wright. Makes short work of Billy going into turn number 1. Tomoki Kono in the AMS colors there, the green car, now moves up into, I guess that is 8th position.
Next on his hit list is Dexter Castro, so we can keep the cameras on there for a minute. I'm going to run down the top 10 for you. It's Eklund and Koemans, 1, 2. Frey in 3rd, Allen in 4th. Then you drop down to Ketchens in 5th, Torres in 6th, Castro in 7th. I'm going to go to Travis in a minute to see what we have in the back of the field. Billy Bob Wright in 8th, Kono in 9th, and Eric Garcia in 10th. Let's go to Trevor. What are you looking at back there, Trevor?
Well,
Sorry, guys, let me quickly hang on a moment, Trevor. I just got to jump in here. Brad Wooten completely missed the chicane and just straight lined it. Didn't even take the chicane, so that's why I was laughing. Sorry, Trevor, back to you.
Actually, I've been watching Travis Schwenke here back in 22nd position, trying to take on Stefan Overgaard. He's been battling him lap after lap after lap. He actually got a run on him and then missed the chicane, so he had a slowdown penalty, had to back off, and now he's caught back up to him. Looks like he's getting into the corners better, but Stefan is getting out of the corners a little bit cleaner, so he's getting that top line speed, so he's been able to gap him outside the corners, but it's been quite the battle between the two of them.
Yeah, and just ahead of Stefan Overgaard with his running is Jordy Fike running in 20th position. So there you see Jordy, and I'm going to call these colors, yell them out if I'm wrong. I'm calling it yellow and black. What do you think, guys? All right, my director says my cones and rods were good there. You see Jordy Fike in that yellow car with the black stripe right on the hood, running in 20th position. Stefan Overgaard starting to make a close on him, and then Schwenke back there in that, we're going to call it orange car, running in 22nd position. Let's go back a few more. We haven't talked about Derek Holland running in 23rd, and maybe give our rookie, first time, a virgin race for him, Thomas Torek from Hungary, running in 24th spot. Nice job from those guys. Richard, what do you see up front?
Yeah, on lap 19 here, I'm having a look. The field up front here is closed up a fair bit now. John Allen has started to make up some time on Julian Alfrey, sitting in 3rd place there. Richard Eklund is still leading this race by quite a good margin, 3.8 seconds as it stands right now. Jan Koemans sitting there in 2nd place. Jan Koemans is back, folks. I got to tell you, Julian Alfrey in 3rd place, still doing a great job there. But John Allen is starting to catch him. There's not that many laps left. We're looking at probably a second or so, and Sonny Canton staying with John Allen as well. So as we come to the closing stages of this race, Bill, you've got John Allen and Sonny Canton on the move. Can Alfrey hold them out? There's a podium spot up for grabs. I'm hoping that Julian Alfred can stick with it because he's done a terrific job today.
One thing that worries me is our leader, Richard Eklund. The next car that he needs to lap is the rookie Thomas Torek. I know nothing of this driver. It's his first time in the race, so you never know what these rookies are going to do. And I know Richard Eklund is very familiar with the guys. Right now, Torek is running 24th in that battle with Holland in 23rd. And Schwenke. Now, Schwenke and Holland are known entities. They know how to get out of the way. Torek, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt that he's going to do it, but won't be long before, with 5 laps to go, I think Eklund's going to get there, and let's hope it goes smoothly for that. So maybe we can have Trevor keep an eye on that and give us a call out when our leader gets there.
Well, the leaders are passing slower cars there. Andre Hedgeheim is currently being passed by all the leaders. There goes Sonny past there. John Allen safely passed. These two guys have caught up, Bill, with Julian Alfred. The battle is on for that final podium position in this race. Sonny Kenchen looking at in front of him there, looking at John Deuce Allen, and John trying to take the position number 3 away from Julian Alfred. Keep your eyes on this battle, folks. With only 4 laps to go, it is going to be touch and go. Who can hang on to that 3rd position, because they are not going to give it up easy. These 3 drivers, all 3 of them used to racing with each other. It's going to be a very, very close finish.
You can see that great camera shot provided by Dougie Beard, that low-angle shot as they go through the chicane. You can see the cars fly on the left side, fly on the right side as they go over the bumps. They actually have all 4 cars, all 4 tires in the air at one time. Now it looks like Deuce Allen has a little bit of a run, a little bit of a tow, but he's too far back to make the move now with 3 laps to go. Ofrey doing a great job. Kenchen has fallen back a little bit. That's really the battle right now, with Ofrey and Allen going at it.
Yeah, now I can tell you that Julian Alfred and Sonny Kenchen, because they do a lot of racing in the rookie Mazda Cup, there's a special competition going on there, or was. These guys favor running the standard.
Okay, we got a traffic jam in front of the leader. Eklund just got through 1, and now he's got. Oh, he spins the back marker. Eklund, that we talked about Thomas Torek being a problem. Well, Eklund took care of that one and just kind of bumped him out of the way. I had a hunch it was going to be a problem. We're looking at it on replay right now. Now, keep an eye. There was kind of a mess going on there.
Trouble ahead. Yeah, the slower car. Who was that? I think that was Eaton. Peter Balassa just got caught in the middle of the track there with the leaders coming up on him at 100 miles an hour, and they both got through. Now the battle here is on. Julian Alfred having to hold off John Allen at the moment. John Allen looking very strong, trying to get that position away. I was telling you that Julian Alfred, they use the standard, the baseline setup. Sonny Kenchen does that as well. I'm not sure what John Allen uses, but look for them to take it now to Julian Alfred. We on lap 23, so we got to keep an eye on Richard Eklund, the leader, as well, Bill. But I got a feeling there's going to be a change of position. Look for it. There's a slow down there. No, he's going defensive, is Alfred. But back to you, Bill. Have a look at what is happening there in the final lap.
Kenchen now taking a look on the inside of Allen, and Kenchen is going to get that position, move up into 4th place. Allen is way off in the grass. He's going to lose the momentum. Eklund is comfortably in 1st position there after he took the back marker out. The rookie Hungarian of Torek got taken out. Now Eklund with about a 4.3 second lead on Koumans running in 2nd position. Ofrey now, it looks like he's going to be able to hold as they're on the white flag. Looks like Ofrey's going to be able to hold on to 3rd spot. Kenchen in 4th. Allen's going to get 5th. And a quiet race from Carlos Torres in 6th position. Richard?
Yeah, it's not done yet, but it looks like Alfred may be able to hold on there. Only a few more corners left in this race, but Richard Eklund no doubt will win it.
We'll stay on Eklund now as he has just 1 more corner to go before he comes down the main straight. He's going to win the 1st heat, the Cool Hand Luke heat here at Lime Rock Park. Now 2nd place is going to go to Jan Koumans. 3rd place is going to go to Julian O'Fray, the rookie. Sonny Ketchin's going to get 4th. Deuce Allen in 5th. Carlos Torres, the Colombian driver, is going to get 5th. Dexter Crasso going to take over 7th position. 8th spot is going to go to Tomoki Kono, starting way in the back. A great run from him. 9th position to a quiet Billy Bob Wright. And 10th, Eric Garcia is going to start on the pole for the Cool Hand Luke Heat.
And Brad Wooten just finished outside the top 10 there by the looks of it. These are all provisional. We are not quite sure of this at the moment as drivers are still finishing up their laps. But looks like Brad Wooten got 11th place. Tomas Zabel, we never spoke about during the course of this race, but he got up into 12th place. Dries Nice, after starting fairly high up, got into 13th place. Bill Benjamin Lanowet managed to get 14th place. Brian Bennett 15th place. Back to you, Bill.
16th. We're going to round out the rest of this field. Then we're going to go away for a little while here. Let's run these out. Benjamin Nelson in 16th. Daniel Kent in 17th. 18th position to Patrick Fliss. 19th to Stefan Overgaard. These guys are all on the lead lap. Travis Schwenke in 20th. 21st, George Fike. Then the guys who are one lap down. Derek Holland, Andre Hedgeheim. Jerome Ursum finishing in 24th position. 25th position, Trip Smith. Al Heaton in 26th. Our rookie, Thomas Torek, after a little help from the leader, going to finish 27th position. 28th, Joseph Arrow, who's in the hunt for the Ironman competition, finished 10 laps down, so that's going to hurt him there. And rounding out 29 is Peter Basella, our rookie, finishing and winning and finishing in last spot. We're going to quickly leave you now. Now, don't go away. We're going to be off the air for a little while, but we're going to come back. We're going to regrid the top 10 qualifiers. That's going to put the Eagle Nest Tavern car of Eric Garcia on the pole for the Cool Hand Luke Heat. You won't want to miss this. You're going to see our leader, Richard Eklund, back to 10th position. Who knows what's going to happen? We'll be back in just about 20 minutes for race number 2, heat number 2 of the Paul Newman doubleheader at Lime Rock Park. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel's coverage of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour, event number 4. This is a mouthful. The Paul Newman doubleheader from Lime Rock Park. We just wrapped up heat number 1, which was the Cool Hand Luke heat. Richard, you ever seen Cool Hand Luke?
I have, about 5,000 years ago.
Well, now we're going to go to our second heat, a lesser-known movie of his. Now, it's Slapshot, really funny, probably the best hockey movie ever made. The reason this is the Paul Newman event is because Paul Newman was a race driver back in, I'm going to say probably the mid-'70s, did a lot of racing. And this was his home track where he put in a lot of time. And actually, it has several championships here. Let's go ahead, Richard and Trevor, and see if we can do some interviews. I see Dexter Castro is there. Let's see if we can bring Dexter Castro in to talk.
Okay.
Hey, Dexter, do you have a copy? We're going to do a little pre-race interviews here. Dexter, are you at your mic?
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Hey, had a little trouble there early on in the beginning of the race. You fell a little farther back. Then you got back up to about, I think it was probably about a 7th place finish for you.
Yeah, indeed it was. Just gotten off track on the first lap in the chicane, so I didn't have any optimal for that sector on the second lap when I cut it on the exit of the chicane, not at the apex of all places. But yeah, it wanted me to give back about 7 or 8 seconds for what was essentially no gain. But hey, that's just how the software works. Would have been nice to be 8 seconds ahead at the end, but then further on, my shifter kept popping out of third gear, so I'm not sure if that's going to be a recurring problem or it's done it in the past and then it sort of fixed itself. So hopefully it fixes itself and doesn't give me any more problems. At least there's one less third gear corner on this version of the track.
Yeah, that's right. We've all that. Click your heels 3 times and turn around and say the magic word. Hey, a lot of people who stayed up, I know Billy Bob Wright stayed up last night to watch the drama that actually takes place during the week. Right at the deadline of qualifying, you made quite an effort there you did one qualifying run, didn't quite get into the quick 6, then you decided to do one more time. You aborted that time, and sure enough, you got there.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I had basically forgotten about everything until maybe half an hour before the first of the 2 sessions I did. So if the qualifying sessions had ended on Thursday like in the past, I would have been out of luck. I would have had to start at the back again. But thankfully I remembered. My first practice was actually the practice of the first session, so basically I only had 40 minutes of practice, or less even. I took probably 15 minutes to join. I had about 25 minutes of practice before my first run, and had a 0.0 going and blew it in the last corner, so I knew I could get it in the second practice, or in the second session, especially with another 40 minutes of practice.
Dexter, Richard here. Now, I'm just looking at what's likely to be the grid for the next race. So it looks like you finished in 7th position there, so you are going to be on road 2 in 4th place for the next race. That's going to be interesting.
Yeah, basically the same place I started this race, but at least there's nowhere to get a slowdown in this version of the course, so hopefully it goes a little better. But Tomoki's going to be hard to catch because I think he's starting 3rd.
Yeah, correct. And in front of you as well, you're going to have...
There's nobody even near his pace who's starting in the top 5 or 6 even.
Yeah, that's right. You've got Billy Bob Wright in front of you and Eric Garcia, so... Hopefully you can get by them and try and race with Tomoki, who's you're right, he's going to be fast in this next one.
Yeah. If I remember correctly, when the official series was here, I think I had one race with him, and I was able to keep up decently. I don't know if even if I can hold on to him, I doubt I'll be able to make a pass, but keep the pressure up. Hope he makes a mistake, I guess.
Yeah,
but
and behind you...
First things first, I gotta keep with him as we make it through the cars in front, but fingers crossed and hope it gets into a good situation.
Yeah, and bearing of course in mind you've got Eklund and Cummins and the other fast guys as well behind you, you might be able to hang on to Sonny Kanchan and John Allen and Julian Alfrey. But I want to tell you, Richard Eklund was superb in that first race. So good luck for the next one, my friend, and hopefully we'll see you at the end of the race, up there in the top 5 at least.
Yep, hopefully.
Back to you, Bill.
Okay, we're going to try to bring in a friend of the series, Jeroen Ursum. Jeroen, you have a copy?
Yeah, Bill, hey.
First heat didn't go so well for you. You started at the back. You didn't qualify this week, but you were back there comfortably. But did you run into a little trouble early?
No, not really. I was following Brad Wooden all the time, so we gaining a lot of places in the beginning. So I profited that as well. But I think about 10 laps to go, I was noticing fuel level. I thought, hey, maybe I didn't check something before the race.
Oh.
it was empty 5 laps in the end, so I had to pit.
Oh, that's there's no pitting at the doubleheader, Jeroen.
No, I know.
For those,
But it was a typical
viewers,
rookie mistake.
Yeah, rookie mistake. For those viewers, I hate to tease Jeroen, but he's a good sport. Jeroen holds the record for the most races started without a top 10, and when the field was small because qualifying was so slow getting going this week, it looked like it was going to be a small field. I was thinking, oh, this is going to be the week for Jeroen to get a top 10. Then it all filled up, and we had a full field of 29.
Yep.
Hey, tell us about the first lap going through the chicane. I was really impressed. Everyone was single file. How'd it go for you on the first lap through there?
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Everybody was going single file there. Yeah, everyone was going at the same pace through there. Trouble, really.
Well, Richard, let's remind him to check his fuel now. This is going to launch here. You only have about 10 minutes to practice to get ready for this one, Jeroen. So make sure.
I won't forget.
Okay, we're going to keep an eye on you. See if you can do it on a no stops. Hey, thanks for coming in to see us.
Bill, we've got just a couple of minutes left. I've just
Sure.
pulled in Richard Eklund. Just have a quick chat with Richard. Richard, can you hear us?
Yeah, I got you.
Richard, everything worked out for you. Just ran away with that by about 4 or 5 seconds at the end of the race there. Good one for you.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. I lost my my clutch pedal before the race, so I had to use a button clutch, so it wasn't ideal, but I guess it turned out pretty okay. In the end, I won by, I don't know, a few seconds over Jan, so it was fun.
Yeah. All right, we're getting ready for the next one, so we won't keep you. The next one starts in a few minutes' time, so all the best luck. Of course, you'll be starting in 10th position for this one.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. You probably know more than me about that, but that sounds about right. Yeah, so it should be fun trying to fight my way through the pack. Not a pass we can really track, so I guess we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, accepting that the pack's going to be pretty fast this time. You've got Jan Koemans just in front, well, next to you, so that's going to be fun. Anyway, good luck for that race, and we'll see you in the race.
Thanks.
Okay, and that takes care of our race winner here. And I realize I have to see if I can actually get into the session here while this is going on.
Yeah, me too.
So we're going to talk as we do a little behind the scenes. It looks like the session has launched, so let's see if they'll let us in. Trevor, what did you think of your first race?
Well, it was pretty exciting. We talked about during the off time that the chicane was where we really were watching, because the car gets so light coming off that hill that to expect you to actually be able to turn, and that wasn't where a lot of the problems were, which is actually amazing to me, because I was kind of keeping my eye there to see if anybody was having problems, and the biggest problems we had were people going up there and having to cut the chicane because they made the smart decision. I'm not going to make this turn. I'm not even going to try.
Well, let me get your opinion on this. If let's say you just won the race, I'm going to put you in the shoes of Richard Eklund, who just won, and now you have to start 10. Would you prefer to try to go through the field with the chicane or without the chicane that he has to do right now?
I would imagine I would try to want to do it without the chicane, because you're going to be able to get that speed. I mean, he obviously has the speed on this course, so to get that run off that corner, off that hill, it would probably be a lot easier without that chicane there. I mean, sure, you're gonna invite people to have mistakes coming off that chicane, but if you have the car control, you're going to be able to get off that hill a lot easier, I would think.
Yeah. Now, what's interesting is I think the chicane it's really kind of a double-edged sword. I think it really is an advantage for the technical drivers as far as speed. I think they're able to run a faster lap time just because the chicane is so technical. But on the other hand, I think what it does, it makes it harder for them to pass, even if you're a little bit slower. I think it takes away a lot of the passing opportunities that you would see, like you said, because it slows you down. I think it's harder to get around drivers with the chicane on the course.
Well, absolutely, and I think the part of the problem would be the fact that you're going to invite another driver around you to make a mistake that's going to affect your race with that chicane there, I would think.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting now, Richard, as these guys start. I think we dodged a bullet with getting single file. They were really nice and pretty going through the chicane on this one, but now I think they've got a little bit of adrenaline going on. They have only 10 laps to practice to get ready for this one. There's no chicane, but I got a hunch that we're going to see a little more aggressive here early on from some of these guys, especially you have Koemans and Eklund trying to make up a lot of ground. It's not like Szabo or Kono going through the back markers. Eklund's, they got some tough guys to go around.
Well, that's right. The guys who landed up in the top 10 are some of the best drivers on this track. So they're not going to have it all their own way. Richard Eklund and Jan Koemans, who were first and second in the first race, will have the likes of Eric Garcia and Billy Bob right up ahead of them. These are guys who are hard chargers, and they're not going to be that easy to get around. Then, of course, you've got Alfred, Kanchan, Deuce Allen. They're not going to have it all their own way. If I were to pick somebody that could be a dark horse for winning this race, I would have to go with Kanchan or, in fact, John Allen, because these guys race on this track on a very regular basis. Yes, they were outgunned a little bit in the first race, but now in the second race, it's kind of like the normal, the normal Mazda Cup sort of thing. They don't run the chicane anymore, ever, in official racing. So this will be very familiar to those fast guys, and look for them to stay up near the front there, because they're going to have good position over the likes of Eklund and Koemans. But having said that, Eklund and Koemans showed how fast they were, Bill, in that first race there. They're going to be tough as well.
Now, Trevor, here's something. Let's talk about the weather. These guys only have 10 minutes to get used to this new track. Yes, there's no chicane, but if the viewers can look at it, it's a little overcast. It's not nearly as hot as it was before. The sun's not shining, and the temperature might be about the same, but the sun is not as bright. And from my understanding is that plays as big a factor as on the amount of traction you have as the temperature. It's really dark. It's overcast.
Bill, let me just jump in here before you go, Trevor. I can tell you the difference is 3 seconds on the track. So they've gone from 1 minute and 5 seconds as the fastest time in the last race. Now you're looking at Richard Eklund doing 57.4s. That is the difference that overcast makes.
Yeah, that's
Go
the
ahead,
thing. I mean,
Trevor.
the track. I mean, the track is going to not heat up as much, so the track is going to be cooler. You're going to get a little bit more traction. I mean, with the cooler temperatures, the engines are going to be able to turn a little bit more horsepower. So I'm not surprised we're seeing that 3 second differential.
Oh, absolutely. Look, the weather is a major factor in any road racing, and perhaps not as much on oval racing, but certainly the weather makes a big difference to road races. And the overcast weather is the coolest weather you can get. Now, if you have a look at this weather here, we've got the track temp at the moment at 83 degrees Fahrenheit. That is not too hot. That's about 27 degrees, somewhere around there, Celsius. But the overcast conditions means that the grip level will be extremely high, Bill, and you're going to see some fast times, and you're going to see a lot of, you're not going to see a lot of accidents, but you're going to see a lot of overtaking.
Well, Richard, let me ask you this. It's open setups for these cars. Is there enough time? Is there any type of adjustment you would make to your setup, a simple change you would do if you from one track to the other, or pretty much your setup is good no matter what the weather is?
No, absolutely not. You race, most guys will have what they call a hot setup, and they'll have a cool setup. So they will change their setup completely for this race. But There are a few guys, and I know for a fact Julian Afrey and Sonny Kenton are two of those guys who have been practicing with the baseline setup for every race that they go into. And the idea is they want to nail it down to one setup that fits everything. And they've concentrated on the baseline setup of iRacing, which is not too bad. And they've shown that they can make it work. For the purists, the guys will change the setup. For me, for instance, I would have a totally different setup for this race from the previous one.
On your screen right there, you can see Daniel Kent in the... that's a beautiful paint job. I don't know who painted that car, but it's gorgeous. The Finding Dory car. Beautiful. That's a movie coming out from Pixar. He's coming out at Christmas time, so he's ahead of the game there. One of the things we were talking about, baseline setups, for many seasons, this was a baseline, a fixed setup car running actually an adjusted baseline setup where everyone was running the same car. And it was an advantage to some of the drivers who didn't have as much time to spend. I know Richard Eklund doesn't like to do a lot of work on setups. He pretty much, like you said, drives a baseline. And the MX-5 probably, Trevor, is not really... You can't really do as much to the MX-5 as you can some of these higher-end cars as far as setups go.
No, and the thing with it when it comes to a fixed setup or versus an open setup, I mean, myself, I will usually I'm the guy who's going around asking my teammates for setups because I know nothing to do with turning wrenches in the car, but I do know when a car is too loose or too tight for me. So I prefer that somebody to give me a good setup and then have the choice to just make small adjustments just to make it a little looser, a little tighter to fit my preferences.
I personally have never improved a car whenever I start to tinker with it. It's just bad things start to happen. But I'm feeling much better now that iRacing has implemented this cheater format, because I'm sure that's what was holding me back. All the 99% of you must have all been cheating. I'm sure that's why my times were so slow. So now I'm finally on an even playing field with the rest of you guys. That's my take on it.
Well, this has caused a massive furor in iRacing circles. The fact that people were able to, I won't say cheat, but they were able to use problems in the system to their advantage. And it's caused a huge problem. And guess what? It's not weather related. What iRacing has done to kind of curb the issue is to turn off the turn off the dynamic weather, because they believe that the problems are related to dynamic weather. It has been proven by some pretty good racers that is not the case. So the cheat still exists for people out there. But we better get back to the racing here, Bill.
All right, we're going to go through these really quick because they're not going to have a pace lap, so we got to hustle through them. Look at this front row. Eric Garcia and Billy Bob Wright. Great to see them up front, but they've got to be shaking in their boots because right behind them is the flying Japanese Tomoki Kono. Then Dexter Castro in fourth position. Fifth position, John Deuce Allen. Outside of row 3, Sonny Ketchen. Julian O'Fray. Let's go to you, Richard, for seventh spot.
Seventh place, Julian O'Fray. Then Jan Koolmans. Then Richard Eklund. 10th place, Brad Wooten. 11th place, Dries Nice. 12th place, Benjamin Lanowet.
Brian Bennett in 13th, and the lights are up. Nelson in 14th, Ken in 15th, Fliff in 16th, Overgaard, Schwenke, Fike, Holland, Hedgeheim, Yersum, and they're going green. Let's see how the leaders do up front. Keep an eye.
Kono, yes, here we go. Garcia and Billy Bob Wright in lap number 1 already. Kono on Billy Bob Wright. Kono now on Garcia. Kono takes first place within the first 3 corners of the race. Garcia fights back, but I don't think he has anything for Tomoki Kono. Tomoki Kono leads the race into the no-name straight already, Bill.
Now tucking in behind is Dexter Castro. Dexter Castro, maybe not as fast as Kono, but certainly will give it all the effort he can. Third place now is Eric Garcia. Hang on to that position. Eric, that's yours. Maybe don't give it up. Right behind him is the one half of the Aussie Posse, Sonny Ketchen, right behind, tucking in 4th position. Oh, a close battle back in behind. Look at Kumans fight his way through in that Speedmaster car, making his way up to 6th position, and in the process maybe sent somebody off into the wall. That was the blue lightning bolt car of John Deuce Allen. Kind of gave him a shove coming through. Allen's still going, but he's dropped back to 11th spot.
And here comes Eklund as well. Eklund's got some damage. They come into turn 1 after the first lap. Billy Bob right the meat in the sandwich. He has been under attack since the very start of the race. He's trying to settle in. He had no time to settle in whatsoever. The Moki Kono has flown away. Here comes Eklund on Billy Bob right on the outside. Gets the job done through Big Bend. Now they go up the no-name straight. Jan Koemans overtaking Eric Garcia as well as they go to the uphill. These guys in 1st and 2nd place have absolutely been monstered by the fast guys, Bill.
Okay, Kono way out in front now with about a 2nd lead. Castro in 2nd. Lanowet. Oh, now there is your Iron Man with an accident. This is big news. For most drivers, this wouldn't be much at all. But Lanowet is limping. His car is crabbing. Let's see if we can get that on replay, perhaps. We're on replay right now. I'm looking at Lanowet. He was following behind Deuce Allen, running up we're looking at right now, as you see in the overcast skies, there's Lanowet in the Tidal influence car. He just came over the hill. I've done that a million times, Richard. When you come over the hill, you don't have your wheels turned quite straight, and he put it in the outside wall.
Absolutely, that has happened to many a driver. In fact, I would dare suggest all the drivers. But let's go back to the action. Tomoki Kono leading. 1st place for Tomoki. Dexter Castro hanging on to the coattails there of Tomoki Kono. Sonny Kenton up to 3rd place. He's got Dexter Castro in his sights. Jan Koemans coming like a steam train there, Bill. Eric Garcia hanging in there in 5th place, doing a great job in mixing it with these guys. And now you see go back to the front. Kenton on Castro. Kenton on the inside here, looks like he will get that position. Can Castro fight back? He can't. He gives up the position. 2nd place goes to Kenchen, and this is where we are at the moment. Here comes Jan Koemans as well. Dexter Castro being shuffled back a little bit into 3rd place now. Richard Eklund coming as well with a little bit of damage to his car, we noted, but it looks okay now. Again, I'm not quite sure what happened there. He's following Jan Koemans. That's your top 5.
Keep an eye on that, Richard, while Koemans and Eklund make their way up through the top 5 there. Trevor, what are you looking at back in the back?
I'm looking at position number 23. Peter Balassa he's been tearing up through the field. He just had an off on the last lap, and that cost him a bit of time. He looks like he scraped the wall a little bit, has a little bit of damage, but right now he is all up on Benjamin Nelson attempting to make the pass. He's gotten close, but hasn't been able to make it.
There you're looking at Peter Balassa in that Jack Daniels car. Certainly I'm a supporter of that sponsor. Running in 23rd position, and then 22nd is Benjamin Nelson. What do you got, Richard?
Here comes Brad Wooten overtaking Eric Garcia in the Eagles Nest Tavern car. Brad Wooten going there through turns. There they go through the right hand, and now they go into the left hand of the Big Bend. Brad Wooten on the move as well. Brad Wooten now up to 7th position. In front of him is Richard Eklund. And just in front of Eklund is Jan Koemans. He has got Dexter Castro firmly in his sights there. Tomoki Kono still leading well. Sonny Kenchen in 2nd place. Here comes Koeman on Dexter Castro. They go around the turn number 6, that is, and now they go towards the downhill, the last turn. And Dexter Castro hanging on there. Here comes Koemans. Koemans will no doubt take all of the track that he can. He's going to try and go to the inside. Dexter Castro defends and then goes back to the normal racing line, so he feels that he's got enough to stay ahead of Jan Koemans. The racing is great. Here comes Koemans. Dexter Castro defending, doing a great job there. Meanwhile, Kenchen and Tomoki Kono are pushing ahead. And bear in mind, folks, the Kenchen and Tomoki they practice together regularly. They are teammates in the Asbury Motorsports team. I don't expect anyone to catch them.
Koemans is now right behind Castro. You see Koemans in that white Speedmaster car. You can really see how fast he is through 1 and 2. If he can get a good exit off of this final corner coming up, now he has 2 right-handers to go. He's going to peek to the outside there. You can't do anything there, Jan. Now, Jan's going to be in there Now, coming up right here, he's right in Dexter's tracks. If he can get a good exit out of here and keep the car off the grass, then I think he's got to run down in turn 1. That's a pretty good turn. He should be able to get a tow here. Let's see if he has plenty of time. If he's going to take a peek. Dexter's kind of keeping it in the middle of the road. Koemans has Eklund gaining up behind him.
Yeah,
we have a spin in the back. Brian Bennett has put it in the wall from 23rd position.
Well, just getting back to this battle here, Koemans is anxious to get by, and there's an accident. Koemans made contact with Dexter Castro. Dexter Castro got collected as well by Richard Eklund. Dexter Castro, unfortunate there to have had that accident with Koemans. Meanwhile, everybody's flown past Dexter Castro and past Richard Eklund. Alfred passed, Brad Wooden passed. So that was very unfortunate. The IRT, if there is an IRT looking at this bill, they will need to have a good look at what happened just there.
Yeah, we're looking at it right now. You can see Koemans just kind of got into the left of the left rear of Castro, and then also collected that dark car of Richard Eklund. So those three guys, Eklund put a pretty good shot into the side of Castro car. That's certainly going to be able to slow him down. Koemans still running in 3rd position.
Meanwhile, Bill, up
Look
front,
at this.
right at the front there, we do have Tomoki Kono still, but Sonny Kanchan's coming, and for Tomoki Kono, these guys practice together on this track. They practice side by side racing, I know that for a fact. So this is going to be pretty interesting, but I think they will show each other the respect. You will notice that they have the same paint schemes, just different colors. They are teammates. Jan Koemans has got a long way to catch up to these two guys. I don't think that he's going to make it here. How many laps for this race, Bill?
24 laps. So there's 17 laps remaining. Now you look at those two cars, and again, yell at me if I got the colors wrong. I hear Tomoki Kono is a green car, and then I'm going to guess that if
Yellow.
I can find the car, the yellow car of Kanchan. Is that what we're saying there? Yellow and green.
Same colors. Same
both
colors,
in that-
sorry, as Brad.
In that Asbury Motorsports design there, I call it like the helicopter blades up on top, one going off the hood, one going off the back. They're running 1-2. Koemans is still running. Now the distance between Ketchen and Koemans is about just over 3 seconds. Koemans running in 4th place. 3rd place. Wooden has moved up to 4th. Julian Affray has moved up to 5th. Now, of course, Eklund's had trouble and Castro had trouble. Also, I want to mention in that we have a pass for the lead now. Nope, still hanging in there. Looks as Ketchen is right on him. I think he's going to try to get a slingshot on him this time as they come around this corner. Richard, if he can get a good exit, he should have the tow.
Yeah, he will try, and he goes to the inside on Tomoki Kono. Does Kanchan? Kanchan is an expert on this track. I have said that before. And Tomoki Kono, respectfully, I thought he was going to give up the position. He didn't. Sonny Kanchan moves into position number 1, followed by Tomoki Kono. Tomoki will sit behind him. They will not do anything to damage each other. Make no mistake. Meanwhile, Jan Koemans, as he caught up a little bit, we shall see. Brad Wooden trying to get on terms with Jan Koemans. This could be interesting, Bill.
Yeah, well, the more those drivers battle up front, Koemans is knocked off about 0.3 of a second off the lead with those guys battling up front. And there comes Wooden. And another shout out to Julian Affray, the French rookie doing great. Trevor, what are you looking at in the back?
Well, right now I'm watching an interesting battle between Jordy Fike and Andre Hegman here. Fig just got into the back of him. It looks like he is all over him. He is just trying every way to get by him and just can't quite get it done.
Now that's Fike in that yellow and black color car. Actually, he's going to get a little bit of wide there, and that's going to give Benjamin Lanawood a chance to duck in there. But Lanawood is not racing for position. I believe he's a lap down. I want to also mention that as Lanawood is a lap down, he's an Ironman champion, also caught up earlier in an earlier accident in the first heat, and then again in the second heat was Joseph Aro got caught up in that Bennett crash there that happened right at the hill. So the two Ironmen are out today. So what are you looking at, Richard, at the front?
Yeah, I am looking at Richard Eklund at the moment. Richard is currently sitting in 7th position. In front of him is Dries Nice. Now, we haven't mentioned Dries Nice. Dries Nice is an expert on this track as well. I expect Dries Nice to try, and he's obviously had a little bit of a bad start, but he's trying desperately to catch up to Julian Affray. who is still trailing behind Koolmans and Wharton. So keep an eye on Dries Nice. I think he'll be there at the finish if there are enough laps left. And bear in mind, we're already on lap 11. Takes less than a minute to go around this track, Bill. So these guys don't have a lot of time to make any moves.
And I heard we have Jeroen Ursum has put it in the wall. He's backed it out on the track. We talked to him pre-race. Jeroen has looped it. He was currently running in 22nd position. We have it on replay right now. You can see him in the pink Barbie car that he races for his daughter. He's all by himself. Jeroen, I hate to put the spotlight on you when bad things happen. Does it happen at the hill? I think it does at this dreaded place it gets. And let's see, he's coming around here. He comes up and he just gets loose and goes out. That was before the hill, wasn't it? Yeah.
Guys, I'm having a look here at Brad Wooten. He is catching Jan Koolmans by the look of it. Jan Koolmans is not catching Tomoki Kono and Sonny Kanchan. Sonny Kanchan and Tomoki having their own little battle up front there, but it looks as if Sonny Kanchan is got a good lead on Tomoki. Tomoki probably not that happy about that, but not that much he can do about it at this point in time. But Jan Koolmans, as I predicted, won't catch these two guys. But Brad Wooten, with a little bit of damage on his car, is catching Jan Koolmans. So this is where the battle is going to be for the third position. And I'm not quite sure. I'm going to have to do the math somewhere, or maybe Trevor can do the math for us, what the effect will be for the overall winner of today's events.
Yeah, it's going to be really complicated because remember, they combined the two together. Koolmans currently running in third position, finished well up the rate. I would think he would probably have the nod here right now if he can hold that position down. Look at the battle. We got to give a shout out there as we're on board right now with Eklund looking ahead at Dries Nice. I'm really impressed with what those two Asbury Motorsports drivers has done, especially Kanchan has got around Kono. You know, you heard Dexter Castro talk about Kono being the man to beat once he got out in front. Well, Kanchan has run him down and is holding Kono back as we're still looking at this battle. Eklund right on Nice right now. That's a battle Eklund trying to get up to sixth position.
Well, Kono is just behind Sonny Kanchan at the moment. I think he's content for the moment to sit there behind Sonny, and I think he's going to make a play towards the end. But I do know, being teammates, these guys are not going to try and take each other out or do any high-risk moves which might result in an accident. They want to be there at the finish. Jan Koolmans and Brad Wooten, this is the battle for third place. Brad Wooten now right on the bumper of Jan Koolmans. Jan Koolmans goes defensive, Bill. That just goes to show he has respect for the fact that Brad is coming up on him.
There's a sentence that doesn't come out of the words in that order very often. Jan Koolmans goes defensive. I'm not sure his car is all that healthy after he had that contact with Castro. They're lining up 1, 2, 3 behind Koolmans now as he is really fighting to keep Wooten, and then the French rookie of Julien Affray right behind him. Nice battle back there behind there as we're looking at Koolmans, looking back at the guys that are chasing him. Still a battle going on for 6 and 7 between Dries Nice and Richard Eklund.
Yes, indeed. And Dries Nice has not made life easy for Richard Eklund at all. Richard Eklund might also be carrying a little damage. He was kind of involved, not directly, but indirectly in the accidents in the first couple of laps. But Dries Nice at this point in time holding him off, and that is something to be said. If anyone can hold Richard Eklund off, then that person
look at this
is
run.
doing a
Look at
great
this run
job.
Affray has now. Affray trying to peek on the outside of Wooten. Had a great exit off there. Not going to get it done. Maybe not. He's going to stay on the outside. Nope.
And this gives
Deuce Allen is
an
in trouble.
opportunity.
Let's see if we can find what happened to Deuce Allen. He's currently running a 13th spot. Happened on the very last corner. Car got a little loose coming towards the apex. You can watch it right here. The car gets a little, no, it's not the right corner yet. It's going to come on the last corner, this one coming up. Just as he gets to this compression zone, the car starts to bite, and then it turns around on the outside. Then he tries to save it, and he can't do it, and he puts it in the wall. Tough break for Deuce Allen.
Ouch. Yep, that's a hard hit there. He's gone into the pits now to get that damage fixed. But going back to the situation here, Koolmans, Brad Wooten, and Julien Affray now. Julien was trying to make a move on Brad Wooten. All that did was allow Jan Koolmans
Pass
to-
for 6. Says, here comes Eklund. I'm sorry, Richard, to butt him, but it looks like Eklund's going to make a move on Nice, and he's going to get him. Eklund's going to move up into 6th position. A nice pass.
Yep, Dries Nice gave
Car
up that
on its
position
hood.
there.
Joseph Arrow's upside down. Now he's right side up again. Joseph Aaron has put it over.
And Dries Nice fighting back, trying to get back on terms with Richard Eklund. Richard Eklund having none of it as they go up the no-name straight, and they will head into the uphill section. But ahead of him, there you have Julian Alfrey, Brad Wooten now back on the bumper of Jan Koolmans. Can Brad Wooten put one over the great Jan Koolmans at this track, which is a favorite of Jan Koolmans, but also well known to every other driver in this race? They go way off track. They're trying to use every inch of the surface and then some, but Jan Koolmans stays ahead of Brad Wooten, and now they go back into turn number 1. Very tough turn. They're very fast. The grip level is very high here, we know, Bill. Here comes Brad Wooten again. But Koolmans just protecting the inside line there, not allowing Brad Wooten any opportunity.
That worked out perfect there as Richard Eklund did a little play-by-play while we had the replay on. He kept us informed what was going up for that battle for the lead. You could see that Joseph Arrow lost position there. He lost it on the hill and he put it upside down at the same place that caught his fellow Ironman, Benjamin Lanowitz.
Sorry,
there.
here comes Wooten on. Close the door, did Jan Koolmans. Very defensive driving here from Jan Koolmans. Very unusual to see Jan Koolmans under such threat. But Brad Wooten putting the pressure on like you would not believe. Now they go down the main straight. Jan Koolmans defensive once again. Brad Wooten has to go to the outside. He can't get it done from there. Jan Koolmans will have the inside line going into turn 1. Brad Wooten can't try it. He's going for an over-under. Can't get it done there. Jan Koolmans survives another lap. And bear in mind, we are on lap number 19. So the race laps are running out.
And while that great battle is going on, we'll trace we can come back to it when they go down the straightaway again. Trevor, what are you looking at in the back?
I'm looking at, there's a few battles that have been going on here. Benjamin Nelson and Jordy Fike have been fighting it out. Shout out to our rookie, Thomas Torok. He was having a great battle there, but he actually got together with Jordy Fike and ended up damaging his car, and he's back in the pits, unfortunately, but he was tearing through the field for a while there.
And there we see Fike going to make a move. Fike in the dark car, or Fike in the yellow-colored car on the outside, and Benjamin Nelson trying to make a move. Fike's going to hold that position as they, a little contact, and now that's going to let Benjamin Lanowitz again, but Lanowitz is a lap down, so he's not really in that battle. Great battle going on there for Fike running in 15th, Nelson in 16th. Richard, how's it look with Jan Koolmans?
Well, let's just very quickly go to the leader, who is Sonny Canton, still holding off to Moki Kono. Nothing has changed there. Jan Koolmans, Brad Wooten, that battle is still on. Julian Alfrey sitting back there, trying on occasion to get involved, but with the battle being up ahead of him, being so fierce, he can't get a look in at this stage. We are on lap number 20 already, so the lap's running out. Only 4 laps to go. Brad Wooten, if he's going to make a move on Jan Koolmans, it better be now, because there are not many laps left. Julian Alfrey at this stage just having a look. He's in fifth position, yes. He has not had an opportunity to make an attack on any of the two ahead of him. Richard Eklund in 6th position, out of it at this stage. Dries Nice following behind in 7th position. Looks like that's what it is. I think the battle is going to be for 3rd position and possibly for the 1st position, Bill.
Yeah, we're on board right now with the freight, looking over the top of his roll bar, and you can see Koolmans up there. Maybe we can stay on this a little bit longer. We've been on it for a while, but this is a nice view of this as Wooten is trying to figure out a way to get around him. They go down this final right-hander. Then they come up to this really fast part. There's really no passing zone here as they come over the hill. You're not probably going to see a pass until they come around this right-hander and then 2 more right-handers that'll put them on the main straight. You look at Wooten trying to keep right behind Koolmans as they use every ounce of the track, every inch of the track. So, but now they go through this right-hander, then they have the final one as they come down here. Now let's see if Wooten can get a good bite off of this one, Richard. This would be where he wants to make the pass. He might not be close enough.
No, because Jan Koolmans, a brilliant exit from the final turn there. and then of course going defensive. At this stage he doesn't have to defend too hard. Brad Wooten staying behind him at the moment, and here we have Julian Affray closing up. The laps are running out. We are on lap number 22 out of 24. Brad Wooten not being able to find a way around Jan Koolmans. Meanwhile, back at the front there, we have Tomoki Kono and Sonny Kanchan still leading, but they are coming up on lap traffic now. Tomoki Kono has fallen back quite a way behind Sonny Kanchan at this point in time. If the traffic doesn't hold up Sonny Kanchan, he's going to win this one.
Now they're coming up, it won't be long. In fact, they're there right now. They're coming up on Brian Bennett. He's a rookie, and then that's Dexter Castro ahead of him. Now Castro has car damage. You see Castro pulling way over, letting the leaders go by. Let's see we'll stay on this for a little while here as the leader. And look at Bennett pull over as well. Going to let those leaders go by, and he's going to let the second place car get by as well. So he doesn't slow up the first two drivers. Nicely done. Next up ahead is another rookie, Peter Palessa. We'll keep an eye on that as Ketchen is probably, 2 corners behind there.
Yeah, look, let's go back to the battle here. Brad Wooten and Jan Koolmans. This could get ugly. Brad Wooten is trying to find a way behind him. He must be a little frustrated by the fact that Jan Koolmans has gone defensive on every single lap. They've got some lap traffic ahead of them, the same lap traffic that were passed by the leaders a little while ago. So this is going to be where the difference is. The lap traffic are too wide up ahead. There goes Castro giving them room to pass. Maybe that was Garcia. But Jan Koolmans has taken advantage of that. Here comes Brad Wooten. Castro is the one ahead of them now. Castro
he makes
holding
contact
up
with Castro.
Koolmans. Here goes Brad Wooten on the outside of Castro and manages to make the pass on the outside for Jan Koolmans. Jan Koolmans being held up momentarily. Affray trying to get in there as well. Can't get it done. Jan Koolmans hangs on and touches. There's a little bit of contact between Affray and Koolmans, but they get away with it. Meanwhile, Brad Wooten has gone into third place.
Koolmans got up on Castro at the worst possible time. Dexter, you can't make your car invisible. You held your line. You did perfect there. A nice shout out to Triff Smith, who also got out of the way. But Koolmans got right up behind Castro and really slowed down his momentum, and that allowed Wooten to get around him. It's all about traffic. Meanwhile, let's look at the front here.
Lap 24, it is Sonny Kanchan leading the race. He has got a nice little gap on Tomoki Kono. Sonny Kanchan will win this race. He's got the first position. He's about to cross the line right now, going past the slower car. Tomoki Kono with a little bit of damage. Obviously, they were battling. He comes in second place. Brad Wooten should get third place. I'm having a look for Brad Wooten. Where is he? Yes, he's gone through. And then Julian Affray.
Yeah, Wooten, Como, and Affray finish up there. Sixth position went to Richard Eklund with a nice finish there. Dries Nice going to finish in seventh. Eric Garcia bringing home a top 10 for him. Patrick Fliss and Nathan will round out the top 10 here. Travis Schwenke. In fact, let's stay with all the cars on the lead lap. Stefan Overgaard just coming across right now in 11th position. Billy Bob Wright going to finish 12th, 13th to Andre Hedgeheim, 14th to Derek Holland, and the last car on the lead lap, Jordy Fike.
Well, guys, before we go to break, just have a thought for Billy Bob Wright. Started on the pole position, was shuffled all the way down to 12th position from that lead. So that's the difference between the top guys and just your average fast driver like Billy Bob Wright. He's not slow by any means, but look what the other guys have done to him.
Okay, we're going to go to break right now. We'll come back with rundown the entire lineup, do interviews, and then the closing credits. While we're away, keep an eye on the slideshow to tell you about the upcoming events. We'll be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back to the Global Sim Racing Channel coverage of the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour, the Paul Newman doubleheader at Lime Rock Park Raceway. We just saw the second heat of the day, the Slapshot heat in honor of Paul Newman, one of his great movies and perhaps the best hockey movie ever made. Let's go ahead and run down the final standings of the second heat that we just saw finish up. On the lead, Sonny Ketchen, and we're going to call him your overall race winner today with a first place finish here and a fourth place in the first heat. He's going to be your overall event winner. Congratulations to the Australian. Tomoki Kono with a great finish, second place. Started up on third spot, got around Ketchen. Ketchen got back around him, and that's how they finished up. Brad Wooden, another Australian driver, doing well, third position. Jan Koemans in fourth, and Julian Affray in fifth. Moving down to sixth spot, Richard Eklund had a little contact with Dexter Castro, was able to bring it home sixth. Dries Nys in seventh. Eric Garcia started on the pole, was able to hang in for a top 10 finish here in eighth position. Patrick Fliss in ninth, and Travis Schwenke in 10th. Richard?
Yes, sir, and I have to say I am proud of the boys. They are all from the Asbury Motorsports team, which is the same team that I race in, and they got away with first, second, and third year, so very well done, boys. Now, 11th position was taken by Stefan Overgaard, Billy Bob Wright in 12th position, Andre Hegheim in 13th, Derek Holland finished in 14th place, Geordie Fike, that's George Fike, from Carolina, finishing in 15th place. Benjamin Nelson in 16th place. Brian Bennett in 17th. 18th place from Trip Smith. Peter Balassa in 19th. And 20th place, Dexter Castro, with an unfortunate incident harming his chances, Bill, early on in the race.
And then, Trevor, we get back to the drivers. If you have the standings up there, we get back to the drivers that you were watching this event.
All right. Actually,
That's okay. I got it for 21st position was Benjamin Lanowith there, and then John Deuce Allen was 22nd. Joseph Aro 23rd. Now these guys were all 9 laps down. They all had trouble. Thomas Turek, you said, had trouble. He's going to finish in 24th position. Daniel Kent 25th in the Finding Dory car, but he could not find a good finish. And then Al Heaton in 27th position to wrap up our field. Oh, excuse me for coughing there. I have a cough button and I pressed it. That means press it when you don't cough. I got that wrong. Let's go ahead and I'll figure out how the cough button works in a minute. Let's go ahead and bring in some interviews here now. Richard, how about I let you talk to Brad Wooden, who put on a great, we don't see our race winner. How about you talk to Brad Wooden, your neighbor in Australia?
Oh, happy to do that. Brad, a bit of a battle there with Jan Koemans for that last podium position.
Yeah, no, definitely. That was some pretty hard racing. That was pretty hard to get past. I had to wait till there was a mistake made or something happened to get past in the end.
Yeah, actually what happened was a slower car got in the way, and Koemans had to check up for that slower car, and you just sailed by on the outside, remember?
Yeah, no, it was pretty good. I'll take it.
Well, exactly right. So, a third position for you, and where did you finish in the first race? I can't remember. So that's a pretty good finish for the combined race.
Yeah, not too bad. I finished 11th in the first one, and then, yeah, third in this one, so it was pretty good.
Yeah, very good. And how was the conditions? They looked like there was a massive grip out there for this race.
Yeah, as soon as I joined, it was really, really overcast, and I was thinking, the times are going to be very, very low, and they definitely were. So, yeah, it was really, really good. Lots and lots of grip.
Okay, here's a question for you. This was asked of me by Bill. Did you change your setup for the second race?
No, I just used the same one.
And was that the baseline, or was it just your own setup?
No, it was just one that Tomas shared in the first session. I just used that. Seemed pretty good.
Okay, and it worked for both races. Was it better in the second race or better in the first?
Definitely better in the second race with the conditions. There was a lot more grip, so it felt much nicer.
Okay, all right, Brad. Well, thanks for talking to us. Congratulations on a third place in a very hard fought race in that second one there. Thanks again, and thanks for being our in-car driver also in the first race.
Not a drama at all. AMS 123.
Yes, indeed. Back to you, Bill.
Okay, we're going to bring in another Australian driver, and that's going to be Sonny Ketchen, our heat winner and then overall event winner. And after him, maybe we can get an interview with Olivia Newton-John as we keep this Australian theme going. Sonny, you have a copy?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, before we talk to Olivia, congratulations. Let's talk about, I'm really impressed. I thought Kono was going to be, when he was out in front with clean air, I thought it was turn off the light, the party's over. You ran him down and got around him and held him off. Tell us about that.
Yeah, I really liked the conditions. It was cloudy, but my speed was pretty sunny. I was running down Tomo pretty much a few tenths faster than him, and we raced this track before, sure for sure in the official seasons, and I was very confident. So I was happy to actually get past him and maintain the lead.
How was lap traffic when you had Kono behind you? Did you have any problems or did it go smoothly?
Actually, it went really smooth, and the traffic, the back markers there were considerate, and they were giving me way on the straight. So it was really good. I didn't have any unfortunate instances where I got slowed down there.
Well, we're calling this now with this win and a 4th place in the heat. It's unofficial, but we're calling this an event victory for you, and that counts as that's your first one. We kind of gave you a hard time. Some of the posts from the reporters were saying you're a vampire, that you weren't going to have to get up early to do this, that there's no way. You're taking this seriously, and you are in the hunt for the championship, my friend.
That's right, Bill, and thanks for that. Basically, that's me waking up as a zombie in the previous seasons, but now I'm going for it. Pretty serious, and I'm used to it. I'm loving it, and thank you for organizing every series and race as it counts, and for my team especially, a big shout out as well for all the practice and advice they give, and big thank you to AMS. Great stuff, and good to see the boys in the front.
Okay, Bill, I gotta jump in here, and I've got a question for you, Sonny. Sonny, this is about setup. Are you still using the baseline setup?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I thought as much. Hey, great job there, and a great job from AMS. I know it's a little bit trite of us, me being in the booth here, and you guys out there, but I'm really proud of you guys. AMS doing a fantastic job, so congratulations.
Thanks, mate. Hopefully many more to come. Cheers.
Back to you, Bill.
Okay, we're going to try to hustle through 2 more drivers as we can. We'll see if we can get to talk to Jan Koemans. It's late night there in where are you, Jan? Jan, are you in Moscow or are you in Belgium?
I'm in Moscow, Bill. Good evening.
What time is it there? Is it still Saturday?
Yeah, 22:51 p.m.
Okay. Hey, congratulations. You looked really well today. You were in that tight battle. First of all, let's talk about your car real quick. Was it damaged when you had that little incident with, I guess it was Castro the first time?
Yeah, I had damage. My top speed was gone, which made it quite difficult. Of course, it was 100% my fault. I just, it looked a certain way from my screen, and I just took the inside line there like I did in the first race a couple of times, and I ended up taking out Dexter like a right noob. So I apologize to Dexter for that, but then I have to say I'm really disappointed with him because he seemed to carry a grudge for the rest of the race, which is really not on, and in the end he purposefully, I mean, he's cute about it, but he purposefully made it difficult in the last corner, which then let Brad go by, which I think is pretty bad sportsmanship.
Yeah, coming over the hill, it was interesting there because you caught him at a really bad spot, and then you just had to check up, and then by the time it was done, you lost the position, couldn't get it back. Your schedule, your personal schedule here seems to be pretty good. You never know what your schedule is. You're gonna be able to race this series a little more?
I hope so, Bill. It just depends on how it works with the off week. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm not home next week, so it's a good thing we don't have a race. I'm not quite sure what I'll be doing 2 weeks after that.
Good.
But I do my best. I might get a penalty anyway, so we'll see what happens.
Okay, we'll see how it goes. Well, congratulations. It's good to see you racing and good to see the Speedmaster car out there.
Cheers, guys. Bye.
Okay, let's bring in Richard Eklund real quick for our final interview. Richard, do you want to talk to Richard? A pair of Richards going at it?
Yeah, certainly. Richard Eklund, so didn't have it all your own way in this race, my friend.
No, not exactly. I got hit by Jan there, so not ideal.
Yeah, I know, but you still made a good fist of it. Some good battles going on ahead of you. Sonny Kenton and Tomoki Kono just unbeatable in that second race with the grip and also the jump that they had at the beginning.
Yeah, I think I definitely had pace to challenge for the win, but after Jan and Dexter got together, I got together with Dexter. I was almost at a full stop in the track, so I lost 4 positions and I had to pass everybody who I passed once the second time, and I just never quite caught back up again. But it happens, so just racing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, where did you finish in that last race? I think it was 4th, 5th place. That combined with the first race still gives you a good enough bunch of points if you are interested in going for the championship this season. Hello?
Oh. Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
He's certainly up in front, going to make a run for it. Well, I think Richard and Trevor, I think we better wrap it up. I'm exhausted. That was quite an event. Trevor, what do you think of your first race with us?
I had a great time up here, Bill. It was a lot of fun to get back up in the booth and do something a little bit different than my normal radio show duties during the week. So it was a lot of fun hanging out with you guys, and hopefully I can do it again soon.
Absolutely. Richard, what do you think?
Yeah, Bill, look, I'm a veteran now of how many seasons here in the broadcast booth with the MWTS. It gave us the usual excitement. There was perhaps a sign that there are some new guys on the block there, Bill.
Yeah, I think we're looking at some interesting stuff coming up here. All right, I'm looking forward to see if I actually have my plugs here, and hopefully I do, and I'm looking for them. As we say right now, I'm going to have to do it again one more time. I'm going to have to do it by memory. We'd like to thank the... it's on the screen. There we go. We'd like to thank Tidal Influence. They're an ecological company in Long Beach, California that educates children about the wetlands, teaches them to keep the wetlands wet, because we know that we always like that, and they also do environmental studies. Also, Mountaintop Cabins, your best bet for cabin rentals in Green Valley Lake, the best kept secret in the San Bernardino Mountains of Southern California. While you're in Green Valley Lake, stop into Eagle Nest Cavern and have a drink and a sandwich, and tell them that you heard it here. You heard about them here on the Global Sim Racing channel. We'd like to thank all the companies that help us run this series, and we look at it right now. We'd like to thank XSplit there, and of course, we'd also like to thank Amazon.com. Really, I never thanked them before. Twitch TV, Avra Media, as I'm winging this as we go along. Anything else going to go up there? On iRacing.com, of course, and of course, Bubba Cup, my big refreshing mug of drink here. We'd also like to thank Eric Ekholm for his music. You can find more about Eric Ekholm on Twitter. I think it's at Eric Ekholm. And of course, then there's Casey Lalonde. You can find out more about him at caseylalonde.bandcamp.com. I think I got that one right. I know exactly what's going to happen next up for the Global Sim Racing channel, because I'm going to watch it. In fact, I may even race in it, and that is the Bootleg Series. It's season number 4, round 1 from Martinsville. 75 laps of short track circular excitement from Martinsville. You won't want to miss that. We'll see if we can get the Hams machine out there for that one. We'd also like to remind you that the Tidal Influence MX-5 World Tour will be back not in 1 week, not in 2 weeks, but in 3 weeks. When we go, it seems like the theme is Australia today, where we go down to the land of Olivia Newton-John to Phillip Island, where we're going to have a regular 45-minute race there. I think we've got all the business done. Anybody I forgot, I apologize. I'll say it twice next week. We'll do the team. Oh, we want to thank everybody on the team today. Of course, we want to thank myself, Bill Soupson, Richard Eklund. Not Richard Eklund. We want to thank Richard Losper. Also on the mic with us today was Trevor Cameron. And then we had Cannon Sharp doing some spotting, Joe Peak doing the directing, and of course the cameras were provided, as always, by Douglas MacArthur Beard. I've done all the bookwork, all the housekeeping. So it's time for us to go off and have fun storming the castle. Until next time, for everyone that I just mentioned and all the other announcers that are not here with us, race hard, race clean, and we'll see you on the track.